And this evening to reflect about our Christian family life. In fact, there is no Christianity without family life. The beauty of Christianity is this. In Christianity, there is nothing called I and my God. It is always I, we, and my God. It is a communion all the time. And therefore, better our family and ecclesial life, automatically better it becomes our spiritual life and our relationship with God. In fact, every human person is created for a family. I don't think one can say, oh, I don't require to live in a family. I can live alone. Maybe his or her pride, or maybe her own background. But a healthy person always loves to be in a family because it's our nature. By nature, by definition, we are family-oriented people. We are relational. This is always I say, if my father and mother had not come together in the bond of love, I would not have been here today. And I'm sure this is the case with each and every one of us here, right? Any test tube babies? Oh, we don't have test tube babies. Good. You see? And therefore, it is nice for us to recognize the necessity and the importance of the family. Having said that, I also want to tell you, our world is changing so fast. And together with the world, even our families are changing so fast. From, big joint families, we came down to the single families, and now we have come to what I call the nuclear families, and even to the extent of single families. Yes, this is the transformation that we see. Maybe a transformation according to the signs of the time, if you want to call it. I have my different opinions altogether. But it is true that the world is changing, the mindset is changing, the civilization is changing. And it is also true to say that according to the change of the pattern of the society, our families should change. Good. But when we see this change and transformation in the family, the Catholic Church also invites us to double check whether all that goes in accordance with the changing signs of the time, whether it is right or not. And therefore, as Christians as we are, as believers, it is not just to go along the current, go along with the signs of the time, but also to double check and see, maybe sometimes rectify those things which don't go according to the signs of the time, or maybe don't go according to our faith. And therefore, this evening we are here, not just to come to a conclusion that, oh, the society is changing, the world is changing, and therefore all that is happening in my family life is all right. I think as I'm standing here, speaking from the perspective of the Catholic Church, I think I want to tell you that there are requirements of rectification. And this is the greatest prophetic obligation that we all have. Every Catholic, person have, every baptized person have towards the world. It is not that just because there is a current, we all flow along with the current. We as Catholics, we as Christians, have a tremendous mission before the world. Even to tell them through our own witness value, all that happens in the world is not all right. There is a different way of walking. Our family should be therefore witnesses of this alteration, this correction. And therefore, at the beginning I would love to tell, all that I tell this evening here may not be liked by everyone. But I require to say, not just because I'm a priest, I'm a Catholic priest, but with my experience with the youngsters, with my experience with the couples, my experience moving around the world, even philosophically speaking, some of the things that we are doing are not tenable, are not acceptable. Thereby, a certain amount of correction, a certain amount of retrospection, I think, is required. We are living in a different world, I tell you, and the society is changing. In fact, if I see the whole history of civilization, I can see at least 5 different epochs. In the beginning, there was the hunter-gatherer epoch. Then came the agricultural epoch. Then came the industrial epoch. And now we are in the information knowledge epoch. And the next epoch is known as the wisdom epoch. So, the persons who are living in each epoch, most of the time, need not to or do not understand the people of the next epoch. And that may be one of the reasons for the failure of our family life today. Because most of us who are seniors here, we have been trained and brought up in the industrial epoch. The world where our children are living, they were born and brought up in the information knowledge epoch. And therefore, there is a gap. There is a gap of understanding, there is a gap of comprehension, and there's a gap of living. And most of the time, it is because of this gap, a lot of misunderstanding takes place. A lot of, changes take place. And as a result, we tell the children one thing, they understand differently. We tell it something from our epoch, from our comprehension, from our mindset, they understand it totally in a different way. And that has led to many, many breaks and, divisions in our family life. Therefore, which is a moment to change and rectify. We'll speak about that when we come later. Now, at the same time, one of the major problems that we are facing in our today's or present family life is coming from our modern secularization. It is not that the secularization in itself is bad, but what secularization given us and what is given to the world may be bad, and what is created in our families is bad. This secularization has actually polarized 2 types of love, and thereby today our society, our family suffers from 2 problems. The loss of the sense of love on one hand, and the loss of the sense of faith on the other. Let us go deeper into these two problems. First, the loss of the sense of love. Human person has lost the meaning of love today. I would say this straight away. And present Pope John Paul was called Benedict XVI would totally agree with me, because I'm basing myself on his encyclical Deus Caritas Est. And this is how it starts. The secularized world has lost the sense of love. And immediately, he brings 2 extreme forms of love understood today. And how there is antithesis between these 2 types of love. Eros on one hand, agape on the other. And therefore, there's a beautiful article written by Father Cantalamessa. You can go back to the, what is called, Vatican website, and you can download it. And nice, what is called, this year, the retreat was given by Father Cantalamessa in Vatican. And the first Lenten reflection was on this love.